Kitco News is wrapping up its coverage from the PDAC here in Toronto, and joining me now is the incoming president for the PDAC, Glenn-Nolan. Glenn, thank you so much for being with me.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Glenn, tell me a little bit about yourself and your involvement in the mining industry.
Well, I guess I grew up in a mining town in northern Ontario, and my father was a miner, my brothers were miners, my uncles and grandfather, and it seemed to be a natural industry for me to join when I got old enough to work in it.
So now you're coming in as the PDAC president. It's a term that lasts 2 years. What would you like to do for the industry? What would you like to accomplish?
I hope that we can continue to create that awareness between the companies that are doing the work on the ground and the communities that in which the work is being done in their backyard. And I think that the work that we're doing with the companies and the communities, bringing them together, is going to create an opportunity to provide a win-win situation for the communities where the work is being done, and for the companies that are going to be looking to find new resources, and also to have a workforce in which that they can do their work.
Now, when you say communities, are you speaking about which communities in particular, like Aboriginal communities or?
Yeah, I'm talking about the communities that they're working in,
Right.
and many of the work that is, or much of the work that is being done today is being done in the backyards of Aboriginal communities across Canada and around the world. So that's who I'm referring to.
What are some of the issues that you would say the industry is currently facing?
I think we have issues with land tenure. We have issues with regulations that are being imposed that don't necessarily merit the kind of restrictions based on the type of activity we're doing out on the land. And I think that there are various types of regulations and legislation from across Canada, as an example, that make it confusing and troublesome for companies to be active on the ground. And I think that what PDAC can do is work with the various jurisdictions to try to streamline some of those processes, not to diminish the effectiveness of environmental laws, but to ensure that companies know what the game is when they're and what the regulations are when they're going into work in a various whatever area they choose to work in.
So the PDAC is really there for the mining companies. Would you say that's true? If the mining companies have an issue, can they rely on the PDAC to help them?
Well, one of the things that we do at PDAC is we lobby for them to lobby for our association members, who are the explorers, who are the companies that are out on the ground looking for new deposits. But also, more increasingly, we've seen that we have a role to play in bringing Aboriginal communities into our association to partner with the companies that want to go out into the field and do the work.
Now, this will become a really important issue with Quebec's Plan Nord, right? That's really going to affect communities up there in the north. How do you plan to tackle that?
Well, I think that was Plan Nord was an agreement between the province of Quebec and the community and the industry, the communities of in the north, mostly Aboriginal communities. And I think what it's demonstrated is that there's a willingness by the Aboriginal communities, by the industry, and by the government to work together to formulate a plan that everyone benefits.
So looking at this year's PDAC, it is the world's largest mining convention, and what a convention, over 30,000 people. It's just, the energy here is amazing. I feel like you won't understand it unless you're really here. But was there anything that you heard that you would say was surprising at this year's conference, something that interested you?
The buzz around new ideas on how to engage communities, new technologies that are being used to discover new resources, and how companies are working to create a better work and relationship environment to engage Aboriginal communities, I think is paramount. And that's what we're hearing here. Last night at the awards, the PDAC awards, we had companies talking about the importance of their project and how they won their award and why they won their award. And a lot of it was because of the engagement they've done with the local Aboriginal communities.
Well, Glenn, we look forward to seeing you for the next 2 years. Congratulations once again.
Welcome, and I'm looking forward to my term as president.
And thank you for watching Kitco News. I invite all our viewers to come on down to the PDAC next year. The energy here is really just incredible. In the meantime, you can email me any comments and questions at newsfeedback@kitco.com. Reporting from Toronto, I'm Daniela Cambone.